People who pooped on the bathroom floor in high school. Why? My chemistry teacher told us a story about a student who I'm positive was an old god of law. He took a shit in a cabinet of the most hated teacher in a high school of 3,000 students, and that old let it sit there for weeks. It hardened to the cabinet, and the only reason it got taken care of was because a student/someone reported the horrible smell. Why? Because she told him he couldn't go to the bathroom. No reason given. Saw a kid urinate in a trash can in the corner of the classroom once because a teacher wouldn't let him go to the bathroom. Pretty sure the teacher was right and the kid would have just went to the cafeteria to hang out, but he felt challenged when the teacher said no, I guess. Kids. There is a mystery suspect making a mess of the bathrooms at my business right now. Not a school. Grown-ups. Work here. Throwing used toilet paper on the ground, pissing all over, wiping poop on the toilet paper dispenser. They go to the bathroom with no cameras outside, but despite that I've still narrowed it down to one of about 12 people. I'll catch you eventually. Mount a discreet wireless one outside that bathroom. Go check immediately after every person uses it. One day of lost productivity would be worth it. You think this is limited to high school? I've heard horror stories from my friends who work in nice, professional offices where people poop on the floor and smear it all over the stalls. I'm just picturing a man in a suit with poop tribal face paint, smashing the mirrors and walls of a shit-covered bathroom with his briefcase, primal screaming and flipping out. Then he calmly washes his face and hands, then goes back to his office like nothing happened. Don't forget he also adjusts his tie before leaving the bathroom. For the same reason people knock over a garbage can or plug up the sink. It's a small act of antisocial behavior. I worked in a movie theater as a teen. Right in the middle of the bathroom floor someone dropped one of the largest turds I've ever seen. The main log was incredibly dry and about the width of a Pringles can. I still debate to this day whether the poor shat that out real time or multi-shat in an actual Pringles can and then dumped it on the floor. Given the size of the log, the time it would take any normal person to squeeze such a massive grogan out, and the absence of blood, I'm leaning toward the Pringles can theory. Once you pop you just can't stop. So this is slightly off topic, but relevant nonetheless. When I was young I went to after school care at a local rec center. One day I was there and went to use the bathroom. I was taking a leak at a urinal and I kept smelling shit and I figured someone had just took a huge dump recently and that's what I was smelling. So I finished up peeing and getting ready to go wash my hands and just happened to peek at the ceiling. I'm sure at this point you understand where this is going, but directly above where I was peeing, there was a turd stuck to the ceiling. Ow. Good aim and a strong anus. A few months ago I actually walked in on this person literally taking a shit on the floor. We were the only ones in there. It was a couple of hours after school had ended. I really didn't know what to do and was still for a few seconds before she started frantically talking and said something about it being an act of defiance or something and was saying she hated the school. I kinda just laughed it off for a second before leaving and going to another bathroom. I didn't say anything to a teacher because I think she was a 9th or 10th grader and I don't know her name. Definitely an interesting part of my education. So she didn't wipe? In our high school the refried beans literally looked like poop, so I once put it on the bathroom floor as a joke. It resulted in many angry Facebook posts. Are refried beans not supposed to look like poop? You should go to the doctor or switch grocery stores. There was a tradition in my college freshman dorm that someone or some owns would shit in the hallway trash cans on move out day, supposedly to get the freshmen out faster. I suspected it was our app, but what a way to end a year. Someone just destroyed a bathroom at my middle school I work at. It doesn't punish the school, a teacher or a principal. It punishes the custodians, who happen to be some of the nicest people you will ever meet. I'll never forget walking into the bathroom in high school and seeing the janitor cleaning a massive shit out of the urinal, just sobbing. This makes me so sad. It wasn't in high school, but when I was a young kid out public library was the spot to go to meet up other kids to walk around town. The security guard was a notorious who would make groups of over 3 kids leave because of gang activity. After a few months of this going on, a few of the groups of kids would shit on the floor in the bathroom knowing he was the one that had to clean it. He didn't work there much longer. On my first deployment, someone took a massive shit in one of the toilets and covered it with an entire roll of toilet paper, and it stayed like that for days. Then, someone shit on top of that first layer and covered it with another huge wad of toilet paper. About 2 weeks later, someone added another layer of shit and toilet paper, effectively creating a shit lasagna. Eventually it all disappeared. I'm not sure how, but I just know one day it was gone, and the madness was finally over. I always thought it was just an emergency and you didn't make it to the toilet in time. I was in that boat once. It was mortifying, but what do? Tell an adult you shit yourself and all over the floor? No, you walk away and pretend it never happened, for the sake of your dignity. I missed out on all the fun in high school. Or not just school but public places. Heck, even some adults do this. One time I was at the cash at Walmart and just noticed the bathroom was fenced off and marked as out of order. Didn't really think much of it, but overheard a staff conversation from the other cash and someone basically blasted the entire bathroom with poop, floors, walls, and ceilings. How and why do people do this? Walmart employees don't get paid enough to deal with that. I would hope that they brought in a special abatement team for that. My junior year of high school boyfriend shat on my driveway and flipped an empty flower pot upside down and left it under there. I discovered this when him and his dumb friends dropped me off, laughing, and asked me what was under the flower pot. Cue me, oblivious and naive, lifting the flower pot in horror, stunned as they laughed at me looking at literal human shit. Cool way to break up with a girl. I had a friend who pooped on the sink of the school bathroom because he needed to shit real bad and all the cubicles were occupied. He did it while other people were in the bathroom. Got him. I once took an insane amount of cough syrup during my high school philosophy class. The teacher decided to show a movie that day, Duck in Great Right. Nope, 20 minutes in I got the strongest urge to just throw up everywhere. I didn't even ask the teacher to step out, I just straight up left and rushed towards the bathroom. I remember throwing up at the very entrance to the bathroom, leaving a trail of puke leading towards the toilet where I proceeded to regurgitate half my body weight. Fun times at Coral Park. I can answer this question. One of my brother's friends pooped on the floor of the bathroom while my brother and his other friends were outside the stall. Apparently the guy sat down on the seat like normal, but with his left cheek on the right side of the toilet seat. He said when he saw the poop hit the floor it was the funniest thing he had ever seen. Later on, one of the janitors was heard saying, "I just can't believe it. I don't know how it happened." Not the bathroom floor, but on the last day of school back in grade 11, someone took a massive diarrhea shit in one of the stairwells. It was all over the stairs. Not sure if someone stepped in it or the pooper dropped his load while going down the stairs. One kid during lunch put a piece of sandwich bread on the bathroom floor and took a crap on it. Turd sandwich. We had one that shit in the sink. He was dubbed the mad crapper by some of the staff. I was in high school, maybe middle school, but we were in a local park in my hometown where we always hung out and played games, airsoft, and other random stuff. I had to take a shit real bad one day and I couldn't make the 3 block or so run to my grandparents' house, so I sucked it up and ran into the park bathroom. I had a massive turd 90% of the way out of my ass when I realized there was no toilet paper anywhere to be found. So I shifted a bit and dropped that large turd right there on the cement floor. I haven't really thought about it since then, and now that the memory came back to me a decade later thanks to this question, I immediately regret it all. And, does shitting on the floor mean you don't need to wipe? I take it you were already sat on the toilet? I need context. A lot of it, not entirely related, but we once had a rebellious kid smeared Vegemite across the walls of the bathroom. The VP had all the male students assembled in the hall, and he yelled at us for about 10 minutes about how there was feces on the bathroom wall, and how the cleaner had to suffer cleaning it up. Needless to say, it did not take long for word to get around that it was indeed Vegemite. I had a kid at my school draw in his own feces. He was a little disturbed, but not in ASD group or anything. Only reason someone found out was because he went back to class and wiped his hands all over the whiteboard, which was pretty vile.